Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign for Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we recruited our final character, Eleni. Well, not our final character by far, but at least the fourth character, and 4 is sort of your standard party limit. There's actually a good portion of the game where you'll be wandering around with 5 people instead of 4, but and there's actually a couple points in the game where you'll have like 20 people in your party, but for the most part, the limit is 4, so we're kind of at full staff, more or less. But we're going to have to fight our way through this glade because, well, it was supposed to be a nice and friendly place, and it isn't.
I think we've had enough of this one.
And it's definitely badgers, 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 badgers right now. So, there is no mushroom and there is no snake, but, oh well.
These wolves, they were slaughtered, and not for food, but out of bloodlust. Is this why the animals attacked us? Whatever is wrong must be here in the glade. I thought the Circle of the Mare would be aware of any disturbance here, but now it seems the task must fall to us.
Why? Let's just go. I'm done stopping through these groves and animals, and letting her pick the trail.
Alright. And, you know, we can either side with Eleni or side with Nishka, and I'm going to side with Eleni. I really don't care that much about getting influence with Nishka.
I would hate for whatever pursues us to be at our back.
There are a couple of your companions where sort of influence matters more, but... Oh. Hey. Nishka, what are you doing?
Everyone, follow me! Let us press the attack!
Well, you know, if we're going to go wandering around picking fights, that's one of the things I really don't like about the AI in this game, is that it is very aggressive, and if there are enemies in visual range, it will charge them, which usually is not what you want to do. Usually you want to try and, you know, cast some spells first, maybe, or at least think a little bit, but no, the game is not... It's not that it doesn't let you do that. There's a peaceful follow mode, which you can use to, you know, get around that, but I'm going to rest up again. There is one more encounter in the glade here to deal with. I gave Eleni the +1 club that we've had for a while, so casting this on her, casting magic weapon on her is not all that useful. Normally I may not actually bother casting it on myself, just from the standpoint of I'm probably going to be playing sort of most of my time kind of as a mage that happens to be able to fight, rather than as a fighter, so I can get through the know-it-all challenge without... Oh, hey look, huge enraged bear. Speaking of badgers, where is my... Oh, there he is. Nalok! Maybe it means something clever, but... I don't know. This is actually a place where using Ray of Enfeeblement would have made sense, but I don't have it memorized.
Eleni, you are here.
Kaelil?
I came here. Came to try and find you, Eleni. To try and escape the mare. To seek refuge here.
The mare? What is wrong?
The mare. It speaks with different voice now. Its waters, once clear to the circle, are now dark and run deep, so deep.
What do you mean? Where are the others? The rest of the circle?
Vashni and the others, they are lost. Only you remain. I thought I could find you, or Nevan, but what claims the mare overtook me, clouded my vision with shadows and blood, trapped me in this form. Do not return to the mare, Eleni. Do not, or you shall fall to its corruption, as I did.
Kaelil, he's dead. It was he that caused such unrest here, and why the animals attacked us.
It sounded like he needed a throat lozenge, too. I mean, is there a cold going around in this place? We should get out before we have to call in sick tomorrow. Yeah, well. Let's ask him, just sort of pick up some information here. What was he saying about the mare?
I don't know. I've been away from the circle for some time. Kaelil and I we're part of the Circle of Merdelaine, the Mare of Dead Men. If the elders, if Vashni is lost, and Nevan is lost, I have been away too long. But this would explain why I could not feel the circle any longer. And as for the land, but we should press on. I promise to lead you to High Cliff and to safety. And so far this path has proved longer than I wished. Farewell, Kaelil. May you rest, and may the glade become peaceful again.
And we get a level. So I'm going to gain my own level off screen, and then I'll just actually gain all of my party member levels on screen since I don't have builds for them shown. I'll be right back. The first one is Kelgar. Now, your party members in this campaign, and like they are in Mask of the Betrayer, but unlike Storm of Zahir, you can only sort of follow predetermined paths for them. You can't just sort of say, well, I want to turn Kelgar into a monk. You can sort of do that, but it doesn't work the way you think. For the most part, I'm just going to have him be my designated weapon and armor crafter. Craft armor is actually going to be more important in the short term.
Yes.
Nishka is, she's a rogue. Now, she's just hitting level 4. I'm going to give her dexterity. I'm going to build her as a 2-weapon fighter. You can either build her as a 2-weapon fighter or as an archer. She's not really very good at either. I prefer 2-weapon fighting for rogues because it lets you essentially to make better use of sneak attack. Ranged attacks aren't bad for that, but just as a point, she starts with some sleight of hand. There's actually not much point in increasing sleight of hand. There's not really any penalty for failing, so you can just keep on raising it ad infinitum and not really have any effect. There's a sort of a frustration point with it where it becomes sort of less useful. Eventually you'll get to the point where you're automatically hitting a 20 anyways. Also, giving your party members diplomacy, intimidate, taunt, and all those sorts of things doesn't actually do anything. So,
I am listening.
Eleni is not really going to be all that useful to me. I'm going to give her concentration. I'm not actually going to bother raising her sort of druidy skills, but I am going to have her get craft alchemy just to have somebody who can do that. And her minion also gains a level. So I'll have to choose some new spells here. Mass Lesser Vigor is actually quite useful just from the standpoint of, hey, it's healing for everybody. I will eventually want to get her some other things, but for now I'm, like Extend spell so that she can cast Flame Weapon on everybody, but for now I'm just going to focus on having her be more of a healer and summoner rather than a buffing caster. But I also handed off all the scrolls to Eleni because a lot of the druid spells are cross-listed as wizard spells, and so as soon as she gains a feat, which will be next level, she'll be able to scribe all the scrolls she knows, and then we will have a whole bunch of more spells for me to cast, so I can work on my sort of know-it-all challenge. But for the next thing I'm going to do is go out to the swamp cave. And off in the distance here you can see a little fight going on. I'm going to do most of this area off screen. It's really just a boring side dungeon, and it's actually reused area from the initial dungeon, which, I mean, come on, it's been like, what, 10 minutes since we were actually in that other area, and they're already reusing a map? Come on. Alright. Well, there's Ghoul Touch and Combust, the two spells I learned. Well, neither of them's very useful, but hey, you know, get them out of the way. And we find out that this is the merchant, Galen, we saved at the inn. It seems like we seem to be in the business of saving him. And his guards try to pick a fight with Kelgar, and you can, you know, pick a fight right back for some influence with Kelgar, and Galen says no, and they walk away. Alright, I'm going to finish the rest of this area off screen. It's really kind of dull. It's sort of... the actual dungeon is different from the place we were just at, but not a whole lot, and it's just a bunch of lizard men. So, I'll be right back. And here's the one good item we pick up from that dungeon, which is very short anyways. I suppose I could have even shown it on screen. Probably, it only took like 5 or 6 minutes to complete. But it's... does fire damage. It's a Morning Star. Ironically, compared to the magic weapon to Greatsword, which is essentially Greatsword +1, it's not that much better. In fact, it has a worse critical threat range, so arguably it's worse, but it means I don't have to cast magic weapon as often, which is not a real big advantage. It's really too bad that Eleni can't use it, because she really needs a better weapon, but she can't, so she can't.
Yes.
I also found a short bow +1, which Nishka will be using once I find some arrows. But, I guess, now that we've got that out of the way, we could have done that a long time ago, let's head back to Fort Locke and deal with some of the side quests we've been sort of slouching off on doing. I'll meet you there, and see you next time.